Today on Worldwide Entertainment TV, we got the talented Brandin Jay. How's your day so far?
My day is going really, really good. Today is like one of my few off days. I don't really get a lot of off days, but I decided to take a day off, a much needed day off. So I'm excited to just interview and get back to chilling today before I have to go back into doing a bunch of shows. This is a very, very busy time for me. This month, January and February, I'm like doing shows back to back to back to back to back to back. So, but yeah, today's going really good.
Okay. How about the new year in general? How's everything gone so far, 2024?
2024 already has been a year for the books, and it's just been 1 month in.
Yeah.
But I dropped my single the top of January, so literally when the clock struck midnight, I was turning up with my friends,
Yeah.
and my single dropped at the same time. And man, the single has been going crazy. Like it is just really catching a lot of fire, and it's kind of going viral. So
Yeah.
this year has been great. It's been really, really good. Like people are really vibing to my music. I've gotten like 10,000 followers within this past month.
Oh,
Um,
awesome.
yeah, and off of this drop, so the year
Yeah.
is going really good. I'm excited.
Okay.
Yeah,
So let's take it back before this year. How did you get into the entertainment world?
yeah. So really, I would say I'm born and bred in the entertainment business. My
Yeah.
mom is a singer. She's a singer and a vocal coach, and so we're originally from Connecticut, but we moved down to Atlanta when I was 7 years old.
Okay.
She moved down here because she visited Atlanta and she saw a lot of black people owning their own businesses and black communities, and where we're from in Connecticut, it was a total
Yeah.
opposite, you know what I mean? And so when she moved out here, she just saw a lot of opportunities for black people, and she wanted us to have a better life and for me to have a better life. And so, she was a singer, like I said, back in Connecticut, and she had been doing shows, and she had a record deal back in her day. And I was born into that. Like I was listening to her, going with her when she was in the studio and when she was teaching people vocal coaching them and all of the things.
Yeah.
When she moved to Atlanta, she was like, this is going to be somewhere that is going to set us up for success, and it literally has. My mom started a entertainment company around when I was 11 years old, an entertainment performing arts company.
Yeah.
So I literally grew up in the entertainment industry, in the business, and learned by watching her. Yeah,
Okay. So I see you're multi-talented, acting, singing,
yeah,
producing, songwriting.
yeah.
How do you balance all of that?
Um, Balance it two different ways. A lot of times I could be very linear, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
when I'm really focused in on one thing, all my focus and time and attention goes into that one thing. And that was something as I was growing up, I would tell my mom, I was like, I love to act and I love to sing and I love to write. And I feel like I just can't like focus in on one thing. And she was like, you can do all the things at the same time. But I think I've always been like, you know,
Yeah.
just had this tunnel vision. So when I'm singing, when I'm writing music, when I'm working on a project, I'm like totally
So
inundated
you're
in that. Like,
focusing.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's where my focus is. And I'm fully immersed in that experience. And then when I'm acting, when I'm on set and I'm doing theater or I'm doing TV and film, that's all I'm thinking about. I'm looking for like when's the next audition,
Yeah.
if I'm filming a project, I'm totally like immersed in the character. And so I know how to like I think bob and weave between all of those things that I do.
Yeah.
but when I'm in one thing, I'm totally focused on it. And that's how I kind of balance so that I don't get like scatterbrained. You know what I mean? Because as creators, we could be all over the place. So I
Yeah.
have to like, yeah, I have to like zero in on that one thing at a time.
So you do some theater and you do film. I know
Yeah.
people say there's a difference between theater and film, preparing
Yes.
and even playing out the characters.
Yeah.
How would you how would you describe the difference?
So the difference really is the main difference is just instant gratification. Like when you're doing theater, you're in front of a live audience and
Yeah,
you're getting that applause or you're getting that reaction. You're hearing the laughter right there in front of you, or you're seeing people cry right there in front of you. When you're doing film or TV, there's no audience. Nine times out of ten, there's no audience unless you're in a like a NBC, ABC, sitcom where they have an audience there for the
yeah,
laughter. But nine times out of 10, there's no audience. So you're doing your work and you don't know how it's going to be received. You don't know outside of the crew maybe responding and say, oh, that was really funny or that was really heartfelt. You don't know how they're going to respond. So I think I love theater because it's like that instant reaction to what it is that you're doing. But I also love film because you can take your time and really like immerse yourself in the character in each scene. So when you film a TV show or you're filming a movie, it normally takes days and days or weeks and sometimes months that
yeah,
you're living with the character and you're going scene by scene. They shoot maybe, 5 to 6 scenes a day, depending on how big the project is or how quickly they're moving. And so you're filming at a slower rate. You can really take your time and worry about every scene and the nuances of every scene that you're in. With theater, it's all at once at the same time. So it's a different balance, but I love doing both of them for the various different reasons that I said.
okay. I also seen your resume, and could you tell us some of the theater work you've done?
Yeah, so theater wise, I'm currently in a show right now. It's called Elvis the Musical, based upon the life and times of Elvis. And people, when I tell people that I'm in Elvis the Musical, they're like, "What are you doing in Elvis the Musical?" Well, he was
Yeah,
really heavily influenced by black artists back in the day. He
yeah,
was heavy influenced by Roy Brown, which is a character that I play, who was an artist that was, back in his time. That
yeah,
he was like, everybody was like, this man, as a white guy with soul, he was influenced by those black artists. So I play that character, but I also have done Dream Girls. I was in The Wiz.
yeah.
I was in The Color Purple. I have done a lot of big theater shows and have worked with a lot of cool people. And yeah, so that's a bit of my theater resume.
What about your film resume?
So, film resume, my very first movie was a movie called Dirty Laundry. I think I was in high school, yeah, when I filmed that. And it starred Loretta Devine and Jennifer Lewis played my mom. And then after that, I did Welcome Home Roscoe Jenkins, starring Martin Lawrence and Monique and Mike Epps and Cedric the Entertainer. So that was crazy being on a set with all of them.
Yeah,
And then after that, I did a movie called Let It Shine on Disney, which is like a cult classic. Like people love that movie to this day. That starred Chloe and Halle Bailey and Trevor Jackson, Coco Jones. Everybody in that movie is like blowing up. And I'm grateful to say that I'm on the roster right with them doing my thing as well.
yeah.
So yeah, that's a couple highlights of the films I've done. I've done other stuff as well, but yeah.
Yeah, I also seen that you had a song and a TV show, or
Yeah, yeah. So a
was
couple
it?
years ago, I was on a TV show called Songland, and it was on NBC, and it was the first singing songwriting competition of its type, where we basically showed the audience like the process behind creating a hit song. And so we would go onto the show as songwriters and we would pitch a song to the celebrity guest of that episode. And we had mentors on the show that would either choose, which song they want to work on for that artist. and then go into the studio, tweak the song, and then come back and present it for the artist. And yeah, so nothing was seen like that, and it was on NBC. It lasted 2 seasons. It went really, really well. But it was Usher on that show, and her, and John Legend, and Meghan Trainor, and Maroon 5. Just so many crazy, dope, big
Yeah.
artists that we had these opportunities to work for. And so my song "We Got Us" went really, really great on that show. And yeah, it was a great opportunity. And stay tuned. There may be some more reality shows coming up for me in the future. We'll see.
Okay. So when you're doing these TV shows,
Yeah.
um, and even the films, what would you say has been your strongest asset? Why they would come say, we want you to be a part of the projects?
Listen, my strongest asset outside of, my talent is my personality. I know that I have a great personality. I do. And that's something that I worked on, you know what I mean? Like I'm a naturally jovial, energetic, fun guy.
Yeah.
But I really know how to, I don't know, just be a light in the room. And so a lot of times when I'm auditioning for things or when I'm going before people and interviewing to, get on a show, they love my personality. They're like, oh my gosh, I just want this guy on set. You know what I mean? Like this dude, he has a light about him. He has something different about him. And so a lot of times that has been my asset. And I think that I've gotten really far in this industry and working with people because I have a light attitude. You know what I mean? And attitude will take you so far. There's a lot of talented people out there with poor attitudes or poor work ethic, poor professionalism. And that's something that from the gate, my mom always taught me and trained me on. You got to have a great attitude. You got to be on time. You got to be professional. You got to be gracious to the other people that you're working with. So
Yeah.
that's me. That's who I am naturally.
Okay. So what would you consider to be the top five artists of all time and top five actors, actresses? If
Oh my gosh, top five. Okay, these are my top five. So
yeah,
I can't if anybody out there doesn't agree, that's your top five. My top five is my top five. Your top five is your top
got
five.
you.
My top five artists of all time, I have to say Michael. Like he is the
Yeah,
blueprint for pop music. He is the GOAT. So Michael. I will also say Whitney. She is the vocal GOAT. Her voice insane. I have to say Beyonce. Beyonce is so influential and she has beat the odds of what this industry looks like for black artists. That's number three. Number four, I would say Usher. He's my personal favorite. He's
yeah,
my personal favorite artist. He's who I look up to musically, performance wise. So Usher. And my last one, I would say, dang, it's a tie. It's a tie between Brandy and Jasmine Sullivan. I put them in the same
same.
right there because they're vocal beast. There's nobody seeing them vocally. Period.
Yeah,
Point blank. Period. Period. So that's my top five. Of course, picked all singers. I didn't put any rappers in there because I'm a singer,
yeah.
and I do love rap as well, hip hop. But top
The
five
strong list.
actors,
Strong
huh?
list. That's a strong list.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
My top five actors are going to be in the same vein. People that really influence me as actors. So I would say Denzel. That's my top dude. And right under that is Will Smith. I love Denzel. I love Will. I love almost everything that they've done.
Yeah,
And I love them for different reasons. Denzel is very, serious. He's going to give you deep, really diving into the character. And Will does that as well, but he's funny. He could do comedy. So I love those two. I would say Viola Davis. She got my heart. I love me some Viola Davis.
yeah,
Um, I gotta say Angela Bassett. She is the queen. Queen. Angela Bassett. I love her. And then I'm gonna throw in someone that I've worked with personally who
yeah.
is just has me in stitches. When I worked with her, I could not barely breathe. Jennifer Lewis. She's everybody's mama. She played Whitney's mom. She played Angela Bassett's mom. She everybody's mama,
Yeah.
Jennifer Lewis, and she played my mom. So that's cool. So that's my top five.
Yes, yes, that's a good one.
Yeah.
So, any advice for any entertainers trying to get into the business, what they should look out for, or how they should maneuver their way, trying to
Yeah.
break through?
Yeah. My number one advice for upcoming or people that are trying to get in the business is working on your craft. A lot of times people try to jump over that step. It's like working on your craft. And it's because with social media, you can blow up overnight
Yeah,
without really having done any acting classes, without having taken any vocal lessons, without having, practice or working on your writing. You could just blow up on social media because of how the way the internet works. However, that's not sustainable a lot of times. If you have not practiced and gotten into somebody's acting class, if you're trying to be an actor, somebody's dance studio, if you're trying to be a dancer, sing a vocal lesson, if you're trying to be a singer, then you may have that raw talent, which is great, but you need the skill set to be able to have longevity in the industry. So work on your craft. You're never going to beat people who have been working on their craft 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, if you think that you're going to just jump in front of the line without putting any time and effort into your own art. So that really is investing in yourself, working on your craft and investing in yourself. A lot of times people are like, well, I can't do it because I don't have money or I don't have this, I don't have that. There's always a way. You know what I mean? There's always a way to raise the money, to fundraise, to go out and DoorDash or Uber or whatever you need to do to be able to have the money so that you can go in and train and put the investment back into your gift so that when these big opportunities come to you, you're ready for them and you can have sustainability and longevity. So those are my two top things. Invest in yourself, work on your craft. And the third thing that I will say is don't take no for an answer. I have had so many no's in this industry. I've had more no's than yeses. But the times that I've gotten my yes, those were so influential that they pushed me way beyond all of those small no's that I got. All you need is one yes. And so if you're hearing no's, don't give up, don't quit. You got to keep going. You got to keep pushing yourself because eventually you'll get the yes, and that yes will be bigger than all of the no's that you've received. There you
yeah.
go.
You brought up social media, and I think it's telling what you stated that people could blow up on there. Do you think it's been more of a positive to the industry or a negative, both in terms of exposure for people that might have got that exposure under the
Mhm.
old system, and
Yeah.
also how social media has become a place where it could cancel culture
Yeah.
a lot of people?
Well, I think it's both. I think it can be both. Two things can be true at the same time. I
Yeah,
think that it can be a positive thing to where people are getting exposure, people that may normally would have never gotten seen or gotten any opportunities just regularly in this industry, and how the industry can be elitist and kind of closed off.
yeah,
People are being, basically they're blowing up by their fan base or their supporters, and those are the people that should be the ones making the decisions. The supporters say what it is that we like as a culture, but a lot of times the industry will have gatekeepers, these big wigs that are, giving the master like no or yes, and that's off of personal preference. But at the end of the day, if the supporters or the fans love it and it goes, then that should be telling the industry this person is viable, this person has something. And so I love it for that reason, that people are able to blow up in that way. But we do have cancel culture, and people get getting canceled off of a mistake, and we're not perfect people. I think it's weird that people act as though, as an artist or as an entertainer, that you're just automatically supposed to do everything the right way, say everything the right way, be the right way of thinking, and we're imperfect. We're all unique. We're all different. And so
Definitely.
I don't support culture, cancel culture. And I almost got locked up in cancel culture, not for me, in terms of people canceling me. But last year, February, so almost this time last year, I posted a video about my experience working with Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
It was a great video. It was a 5 minute long video that I cut up into 1 minute pieces, and I put them out on TikTok. One
Yeah.
minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. People saw the video. They saw the first minute of the video, which the first minute of the video, if you watch it on its own, can sound negative. If you watch
Yeah.
the full video, you'll realize it was a very positive video. But the first video can sound like, ooh, he had a really bad experience and he's slamming Tyler Perry. People took that clip, put it on Twitter, and it blew up. I mean, when I say millions of views, it got
Yeah.
millions and millions of views. And people started slamming Tyler Perry and saying, Tyler Perry is terrible. And look what he traumatized this young man and all of these things. And
Yeah.
I'm like, no, 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 no. That's not what I'm saying. Like, you didn't see the full video. So people were they try to do this all the time, but trying to cancel Tyler Perry from a video that I made. And I was like, no, I am a fan of Tyler's. I'm a huge supporter. Working with him changed my life. But people took one part of what I said rather than the totality of what I said
Yeah.
and ran with it. And it went crazy. And people were throwing stones at Tyler, but it worked out, ended up working out for me because Tyler Perry saw the video. He saw
Yeah.
the full video.
Oh,
He didn't watch just the one clip. He went to my TikTok and watched the full video.
yeah.
And I ended up getting a call from Tyler Perry Studios after this thing had went viral, and I was informed that Tyler Perry saw my video and he loved my video, and that he was proud of me and was thankful for how I said the story. And he told me or had them tell me that he's writing something for me personally, and he was going to have me back at Tyler Perry Studios in a project. And that actually happened. Last year, November, I ended up filming something that's going to be coming out this year, and all of that happened because of this video going viral and him seeing the actual video rather than the part that they were trying to, spew out. So,
That's
so
good.
it
You
could be a
cleared it
catch
up.
22. It
Yes.
could be a
You
catch
cleared that up
22.
here too.
Huh?
Good, you cleared it up here too.
Yeah, yeah, I cleared it up. So
Yeah. Yeah.
for anybody that needs to know, I am not a supporter of the dragging of Tyler Perry. He actually has been someone so influential in my life and in my entire career, and just watching his career, I'm so inspired by him, and working with him was life changing back then, and it was recently, which was last year. And I
Yeah.
can't wait for everybody to see what I've filmed. So yeah.
Okay. So speaking of the rest of the year, you started off with a bang with your new single.
Yeah.
What else could we see this year from you?
Well, yeah, like you said, I have my new single out this year. It's going
Yeah.
crazy. Everybody needs to stream it on all social media platforms. So
So you
iTunes,
just so you
Spotify.
just yeah, okay. I was just gonna say,
Yeah.
so you just type in your name and
Yeah, Brandin Jay, BrandinJay, and this year will pop up. It's on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Google Play, all the things. Title. But for the rest of the year, at least I'm looking at the first 6 months, I'm going to be putting out a new song pretty much every month leading up into the summertime. So February, I got a new drop coming. Um, that's around the Valentine's time.
yeah,
March, I have something, April, so forth and so on. And then I'm looking at putting out a EP in the summer. And then yeah, if I'm not filming a TV show or doing a theater show, I'm going to be doing a bunch of shows, just my personal concerts, and getting out there and meeting and performing for the supporters and the fans and all the things. So that's what they can expect. I'll say the first 2 quarters of the year is just a lot of music. I have a lot of great music coming. That's amazing, and I can't wait for the world to hear it.
okay. So Are there any other lasting words you want the people to know about yourself?
Yeah, so I just want you to know that I am, I think, the next big thing. And I can't wait for the world to get to continue to know more about Brandin Jay. Follow me on all my platforms. Just type in Brandin Jay, Brandon with an I, Jay, and you'll find me there. And I love the arts, and I love helping other people. I love creating, and I love, my music touching people, in their spirit and their soul. And that's the type of music that I make. So be on the lookout for more records. I already have music that's up right now, and I hope you enjoy it. I know you will.
Okay. Thanks again for the interview. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Great to meet you.
All right.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. All right.
All right.
All
Bye.
right.